Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of our Pokemon Yellow episodic Nuzlocke. We are continuing to traipse through Silph Co and try and do our level best to finish up Silph today. But you'll be happy to know that we're basically on like floor 9 or 10. So there's really only the 9th and 10th floor left to go. So there isn't too much left to get through. And as I say, the marvelous thing about Nightshade, not only will it be like a 50 power or 60 direct damage move, so really tanky Pokemon can't, get by, but it also deals damage to normal types because static damage moves didn't take immunities into account when they were designed. It was just like, it does, in this case, 43 damage to a Pokemon. And whether it's super effective, normally effective, resisted, or immune, it just does that damage. So even though Rattata should be immune to Nightshade because it was a ghost type attack, it isn't because Gen 1 oversights. Hip hip hooray. But it is really useful for conserving our power points on our more powerful moves. And obviously, once we kind of get through this battle, we're going to then head upstairs to the final area, which will give us a little healing zone, which is nice. But once we step into this next combat encounter, we're going to roll that title card and get into the rest of the episode. So I'll talk to you then. Ferocity in Rivalry. So, out comes Golbat, and as with nearly all of the Rockets, we can just obliterate their mainly poison type team with psychic attacks. But out comes Drowsy as a hard counter. Oh my god, way to make me seem like I'm not organized again. But it's level 28, which means it's probably not going to have over 40 or over 86 HP, which it doesn't. So 2 Nightshades can see it done. But as you can see, there's the power of Psychic Pokemon. I mean, it is, yes, super effective, but we also have such a level advantage that I'm like, how is this doing this much damage? So we can't underestimate it. Now, if I had left it in, Hebbit would have done nothing, so maybe I, shouldn't underestimate the AI's incompetence. But as you can see there, like, the special, since it's counting for both offense and defense, like, even though Flare has a very respectable special attack stat, the fact that it is still able to, like, not be KO'd by a Pokemon massively overleveled is crazy. My brothers will avenge me. It's like, bro, I have beaten all of your brothers at this point. Will you relax, please? Come on, seriously. We're beyond this. We're better than this at this point. But yeah, the Pokemon are doing really well, and now you can see that lady there and like the bunch of beds. This is basically a mini Poke Center. We can have a little rest there, but I am refusing to let any trainer go amiss. So, admittedly, this guy is really nice. Why are you in Team Rocket if you're able to notice that like Pokemon adore me, and you can have that kind of sensitivity of self? You can do better, my bro. You can get out of Team Rocket if you really want to. And so I'm basically badge boosting myself just so I can have a little bit of a boost to my attack stat, etc. But then I realize, oh my god, like, how is it doing that much damage? That's ridiculous. And so we're just gonna do takedown, I guess. But the problem with Drowsy is, well, it doesn't really matter if you get a critical hit, I suppose. I was going to say the problem with Drowsy is it's a lot more bulkier than like Abracadabra or whatever. Mr. Mime as well. Drowsy is the kind of more defensively bulky psychic type. It just isn't as psychically powerful. And it's more about like doing debuffs than, strictly speaking, having an Alakazam, it outspeeds and does psychic, you know? But we've Ninetales, so we're not going to worry too much. If I had started a trainer at your age, maybe things would have been different. And he's right. Roxas is like, listen, I'm not going to call the police yet. We're going to just take down Giovanni. And he kind of chuckles and says, you take down Giovanni? And it's like, I've done it before. And kind of his eyes widen then and he kind of rushes out of Silph Co. But Roxas thinks back to Blaine and like looking at his volcano badge kind of says, you know, maybe these are just young men and women. I know primarily all we've been fighting are men in the Rockets, but you know, these are young people. Maybe a bit down on their luck and maybe just falling in with the wrong crowd, etc. So, you know, maybe Roxas shouldn't be so quick to judge. A lot of these henchmen are just here because they've nowhere better to be. And maybe if Roxas is able to convince them to go to Cinnabar, go meet with Blaine, and, you know, look after things there. But the scientist, and again, when you're coming up to these certain NPCs, you're literally rolling the dice of, are you a helpless Silph employee? Or are you in fact here to be difficult and here to be a trainer? A traitorous trainer at that. And this is one of the problems I've done with Pikachu, is that like, while I'm resistant to electricity, I'm also like, I've no quick attack or no like normal physical move to like deal with other electric type Pokemon. But I just need to take the easy levels while I can get them, like up to level 43, that's 8 and amazing. But now that I get to Magneton, I'm like, ugh, like can Thunder even do something like the most powerful electrical move I have, and it does legitimately nothing. So while Tackle also does nothing, it's like I do not feel the need to sit and bore you guys with a boring Thunderbolt tackles back and forth, you know? But it goes to show just how, you know, I won't say crap, but like how Pikachu going up against especially bulky Pokemon that it is not super effective against is just going to lead to trouble. Because it is not defensively bulky. It is not, you know, it's speedy. It has speed and it has, you know, super effective damage, which isn't too bad. But we've now made it to the 10th floor. And we've another rocket to showdown. But as you can see, we have lots of spoils of war if we can get by him. So again, I kind of just roll the gamble of, okay, fighting Pokemon by definition have super low special. Let's just see how I get on with something that I am 10 levels above. So this isn't looking too bad. Maybe I can help out with, oh god, what's his name? Bruno. With the fighting trainer Bruno on the Elite Four. On the Elite Floor, I was going to say. But that rocket does basically go forward and say, yeah, no, the boss is on the 11th floor, and even if you were to ascend via the stairs, you will just be, like, blocked off. There's no way for you to be able to get to him. So Roxas then realizes, okay, if that be it, then I am going to have to figure a way to, you know, using these teleport pads to my advantage. And then we've got a bunch more TMs. So what's 26? I believe it's Earthquake. Yeah, Earthquake. And then I'm like, ooh, could my Amistar learn that? And it's like, no. Amistar can't learn it. Would have been great if he could learn it. But alas, he can't. Oh. Hello, scientist. Enough of your silly games. It's like, bro, I have been systematically ascending through the ranks of this company tower and destroying absolutely everybody in my wake. So, you know, yes, this is a game for me, but that's only because you are all child's play at letting me be defeating you all. You know, make it a challenge if you're gonna, like, come here saying, like, oh, enough of your games. It's like, then stop being a joke. Stop being a funny joke and be a serious threat. if you want me to not think of this as just, you know, play fights. But once again, you know, Flare just proving the absolute elegance and I suppose the prudence of Team Rocket for capturing all of these Vulpixes, because clearly Vulpix is a powerful, you know, special attacking Pokemon. So maybe Team Rocket were actually onto something. And that woman is just terrified. She's just screaming. She is not in a good way. God love her. But that's basically the entirety of Silph Co. completed. We've gone through and fought every single trainer. And now we just have to make our way over to this particular teleport pad. This brings us to where our rival is. So I'm going to just quickly use an owl hyper potion. It's always why we have a good collection. And yeah, let's I believe he starts with Sand Slash. So we're going to just start with on the star for now. I thought you'd turn up here if I waited here long enough. I guess they slowed you down, but I saw Saffron, so I decided to see if you got any better. And it's like, Sora, are you not going to stop Giovanni? And he's like, why would I be worried about Giovanni? Like, a do-gooder like you is just going to sort it out anyway. Like, I'm just here to, like, raise my Pokemon, beat the gyms, and make it to Elite Four. Whatever some random mob boss decides to do, making some sort of hostile merger, nothing to do with me. And then even seeing Ninetales, the beautiful Pokemon that she is, in the hands of, you know, Sora. Roxas wonders, since she only used the Ember attack, did he take the time to let her learn Flamethrower before using a Firestone evolution? I guess you'll have to wait and see, because with one shot, she is defeated. And now with a Cloyster, Roxas takes the chance to perhaps deal with it with his Pikachu. It's a good matchup. Even for a water Pokemon, it is more physically defensive than especially offensive or defensive. So with that, we get a KO. And now moving into Huntress, just because she hasn't got a chance to shine in a little while. We take on, again, well over 10 levels higher. As you can see, with a critical hit, Kadabra is not to be underestimated. It still could do 50 damage with a critical hit, so yeah. A strong contender for a powerful Psychic type when he finally evolves. However, now ending up with a Flying type against an Electric type, we pivot hopefully to Victory Bell against Jolteon. But what I then forget is Pin Missile is the Bug type move, and in Generation 1, the unfortunate thing is Bug type is considered super effective against Grass, which it always was, but it's also considered super effective against Poison, so we're actually taking 4 times super effective damage here. And I'm there on the edge of my seat being like, oh my god, I nearly lost Sunny. And then I have to ask myself, okay, let's do some growth strats. And then I'm there like, maybe I just do some damage first to try and just heal up. And unfortunately, Mega Drain does next to nothing because Jolteon's special stat has now been skyrocketed. So now I'm like, Pin Missile will also be super effective against Chrysalis because he's a Poison type and a Ghost type, so that's not good. And then I think, okay, maybe he's going to always go for Pin Missile. Rock will be resisted, and then he does Double Kick, which I'm not mad about. Double Kick is better than a Lightning attack. And then I'm wondering, okay, if I can pivot then to Chrysalis, he might do Double Kick again, which will be immune. And then he just bloody Thunder Shock, and I'm like, oh, let's see how we do. Okay, that really wasn't too bad. But that was also Thunder Shock and not Thunderbolt. So, Oh, we don't get the KO, and I'm like, oh, Christmas, come on, please, he's a Jolteon. Oh my god, I start to panic then. Because not only does he get a crit, which Jolteons are prone to do, because they're super fast, he also got the like 10% paralysis, which was not the vibe. We did not need that, okay? And now between 4 different Pokemon, we've managed to take down the Jolteon, who invariably is probably going to have like even more powerful moves when it comes to later on in the game. So we're not really looking forward to that much at all. Not an ideal situation. And yeah, Sora's basically like, good luck to you, but I'm just wanting to be the strongest trainer ever, and like you're building up a reputation and you're clearly going from strength to strength. So I'm gonna aim just to get stronger, and you know, you're strong enough to fight this Bob boss all by yourself. Have a good one. And then we end up being gifted a Pokeball from one of the Silph's like secretaries, and he's very much like, oh my god, like I thank you so much for being willing to go in and rescue our president. Please, I kept this Pokemon for safekeeping. She is a very powerful water type Pokemon. She can definitely help you travel across the seas if you need to get to Cinnabar Island for your gym challenge. And Roxas has like already been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. But looking through his Pokedex then, Roxas looks into the information on his newly obtained gifted Pokemon, Lapras. And we'll get that now in just 1 second, just healing up the party and getting them ready and willing to go on and face Giovanni once we step through that next teleport pad. But with everybody all healed up, Roxas thumbs through the Pokedex, and on finding Lapras' data, we get told the following. Lapras, the transport Pokemon, a gentle soul that can read the minds of people. It can ferry people across the sea on its back. So, with that information in tow, and even though he has like Cthulhu if he ever wants to swim again, even though he really doesn't, Roxas just thinks to himself, right, we're going to need to take on Giovanni now. Giovanni likes kind of Nidoqueen and Persian, who's a normal type. But as he rematerializes through this teleport pad, Jesse and James run down the hallway and engage Roxas in immediate combat. We're not going to let you talk to the boss or disturb him. We have to get that Master Ball, and we failed too many times for you to stop us now. And Roxas very aptly says, but if I've stopped you every time, what makes you think this time is going to be different? They look upon Amistar, the fossil they tried to steal before, and with one jet of water, each Arbok and Weezing are just utterly destroyed. Team Rocket look on in horror, and they just sort of say, this is the true power of those ancient Pokemon. Simply astounding, the strength, the force. It hasn't been seen for generations of generations. With them being quickly washed up, they simply say, like always, Team Rocket blasts off at the speed of light for the last time. Roxas makes his way down, activates the keycard, and goes in to confront Giovanni. Ah, Roxas, so we meet again. The President and I are discussing a vital business proposition. Keep your nose out of grown-up business, or experience a world of pain. Giovanni smiles. I figured it'd be you who would be the one to chase after me. 7 gym badges, it seems, as Roxas has them displayed on his lapel. Yeah. And your goons stopped me from being able to get to Sabrina's, so I guess that's why we have to take you on. Giovanni chuckles. You can say that's the reason all you want, but we both know you're just a do-gooder who can't help but stick his nose in where it's unwanted. On seeing the volcano badge, he simply says, "So, seen your dad's old work with your own eyes, I take it?" "I did. It was probably right that it was stopped. But I can see why you want the Master Ball, to recapture your own creation. So it can what? Break free and wreak havoc again? I'm going to stop you, and I'm going to stop that Pokemon too. You're defeated. Leave." "Blast it all, you ruined our plans for Silph. Never forget, Roxas, that all Pokemon exist for Team Rocket, even the one that we've created. You might have delayed me now, but I will not be stopped." He then blasts a hole in the ceiling and takes a helicopter out of Saffron and over the megaphone says, "Saffron is to be evacuated. Make back to our original base." Roxas then chats with the president and his wife. They both admire our courage, and Roxas is gifted the Master Ball as a response. Roxas says he doesn't want to use this on a Pokemon. And the president says, "Maybe it's for that exact reason, that you're the only person that should have the Master Ball. Use it wisely, or better yet, don't use it at all. Maybe that's the more discerning and wise option." Roxas throws an escape rope up to the now broken hole in the Silph Co building. Right after a quick heal in the Pokemon Center, Roxas enters the now teleport pad ridden gym of Sabrina. And essentially, we are just warned that fighting type Pokemon are weak against psychic type Pokemon, and to not bring them into this fight, as their minds will be bent and confused before they even manage to land a punch. Roxas, taking a step onto another teleport pad, comes across a psychic Pokemon trainer who, with his horde of Slowpokes, are quite a handy challenge for Peekaboo, and so with Thunderbolt after Thunderbolt, Pikachu takes them down one after the other. As a little piece of business, you might notice that animations have now been turned off. Essentially for nearly all of Silph Co, because I was going battle after battle, I was like, oh man, like maybe I should just turn off the animations for all the moves, because it's literally adding up bit by bit to be like a massive time loss. And essentially I only finally remembered to do it recently enough, so that's that. But I mean, if Sabrina could have just all Slowpokes on her team, Pikachu would be grand. And this is what I'm saying, it's not that Pikachu is useless. It is just that for the vast majority of things, unless he's super effective, he isn't going to be just something you swap in to just give a Thunderbolt to something. It's like you're going to want him to have super effective damage. Or not use him much at all. Moving on to another teleport room, we face down a Kadabra, level 31. Pikachu does have the advantage, but let's just show you the difference. Even with a 10 level advantage, Pikachu does decent damage, but a Psybeam still does way too much for over a 10 level advantage, you know? Whereas Thunderbolt on super effective, one shot, gotten rid of, simple as, well done. But now this will be the interesting one, because Mr. Mime is more bulky, but he only goes for a defensive move. If he had started the battle with Mr. Mime and got a light screen up, this could have been a totally different battle. Just the turn order is totally different. But I'm there like, alright, so now we have a Kadabra that could already, you know, do scary damage. And now he has light screen, so he's going to take less damage from my thunder attacks. No thank you. And this is genuinely where I'm looking at his moveset being like, Huntress deserved takedown. Should have just given Huntress takedown. God damn it, I'm so frustrated with myself. And even when it comes to like Seraphine, the Wigglytuff, like giving her body slam and stuff, it's like, I'm not sure if Pidgeot could have learned body slam. I know Pidgeot definitely couldn't. But like, a Pidgeot with body slam or takedown or something would have been good. But going from Psychic to Psychic, Pokemon Trainer to Pokemon Trainer, one Psychic says, I find it intriguing that you were able to see Ghost-type Pokemon. Roxas looks a bit taken aback and he's like, how can you tell? And he's like, well, I can tell you have a hunter. But not only that, but your aura speaks to the supernatural. Roxas kind of just left blinking. My aura? And it's like, yeah, certain Pokemon can even read auras from other parts of the country. Or the world, rather. The regions. And then I accidentally find Sabrina first. So now I'm like, oh great, so now I need to basically go back and find all the trainers that I didn't fight. But I'm sure it won't take me too long. But Roxas, again, just in meeting all these different psychics, he gets a similar message. You know, Sabrina had sent her Abra to try and guide some trainer to fight against the rocket incursion in Celadon, and now that same trainer has stopped and freed us from the rocket hostile takeover of Saffron. So we do owe you our gratitude, but we don't owe you a victory. If you want to face Sabrina, you are going to have to face all of us. And, you know, facing down all these psychic-type Pokemon, Peekaboo proving herself strong and capable. We're not doing too bad. But with a thing like that, that's where it's dangerous. If that had been a psychic, we could have been in trouble. But Roxas kind of stares dumbfounded. Sabrina sent her Abra to guide me. That same Abra across those two different routes that was actually owned by Sabrina. And they say, yeah, she had a vision. Someone that was there to help save the world would need her help and guidance to know the path. And now, it's your path and your journey. We're just here to help strengthen you along the way. And imagine that, like, Pikachu having 1 EXP off. I mean, I think the Dragon Quest will be out before this episode airs. But, like, between Pikachu and Serena just having level ups be 1 experience away and me checking and being like, why are you leveling up next? And it's like 1 XP. And I'm like, oh my god. I just felt so triggered. But again, a channeler with other ghost-type Pokemon, she basically says that she has been hearing the messages of spirits, and while he was trained against them in the tower, she herself has wanted to, I suppose, extend the message of goodwill that, like, yes, you've stopped Giovanni again, the Master Ball is in your hand, the plan for the future seems to be going as expected, and to keep travelling, because the path you walk is the path to victory. A little strange to be literally rejoiced over for being able to defeat all these trainers and their Pokemon. But Roxas at least takes heart in the knowledge that, well, they're happy at least that he has supporters and fans, even if they are from beyond the grave. So yeah, an awful lot of the team now are literally very, very close to leveling up and facing down another challenger. They say that Pokemon seem to take on the aura and the appearance of their trainers, and so given how tough and strong my Pokemon seem, it would appear that I am no easy challenger to defeat. Even with a ghost type Pokemon nearing its 40s. It just goes to show you the strength of Flare as she just lets out a bolt of fire, incinerating the Haunter into the afterlife again. But in that way now, we're just going to basically check in and make sure we have battled everybody that we can. Not nearly as many as Silph Co though. Oh my god, that was a nightmare. But with this trainer battle, I believe we're going to basically end the episode there. I'm basically going to then go back and restart the next episode from the beginning of the gym. Just so if people are wanting to play along and they're like, oh my god, I can never find the path to make it to Sabrina, then I'll just show you guys. I'll just be like, okay, here's the first pedestal and we're just going to go in this order of directions and we'll get there. But yeah, next episode's going to be an absolute medley because we're literally going to have the Sabrina gym fight. We're going to go straight to the 8th gym leader, have that fight, and then make our way to the final challenge. So I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you're watching this. And I will chat to you guys next time. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and a comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.